It's no secret that the single thing you have to do well in order to succeed in business is all up here. Like, has nothing to do with like traffic, conversion rates, marketing, or any of that stuff, right? It's literally all a mental game, and that's the game you have to play well. Like, literally in my business, over the course of all my career, I can literally correlate how much revenue the business did, how fast it grew, with my mental state of being. I can literally just say like, this is where I was like in the zone and like we were crushing it, and this is like where I was like doubting myself or like not like knowing where to go, or like I wasn't playing my mental game well. And that's why it is like the number one most important thing is just to make sure you play the game right, like play the mental game right. Because over time, like I am 100% absolutely convinced that whatever you believe you can do, right? And usually when you say you can do that, or you say you're gonna get that goal, but you don't, it's because, at least that's how I reflect over the course of my business and my business career, like that's always been the case for me. I thought I was gonna go for that level, but didn't truly believe it like through the core, right? And obviously the most efficient or the best way that I've found, that I think a lot of people would agree with, the best way to rewire your brain is obviously to surround yourself with the right people, right? Like your environment will literally decide what you think, who you are, what you think of yourself, what you think of your surroundings, like everything, right? Now, this is not the hack that I'm talking about. This is not the experiment, but this is important because like throughout my career, like the moments where I've been growing the fastest is, like I said, where I played my mental game right, I was in the right zone, and I believed that I could hit the next level in business. But that didn't just happen. Like it actually happened because I surrounded myself with people that were ahead of me at the time, right? Because when you're out all alone, you know, working online or whatever, even if you have a team, doesn't matter. Like you surround yourself with people, you know, whatever your current circle, I would say, right? And you learn all these new skills. Yes, you can grow your business, right? But the moment that you mainly interact with people who are like 3 levels ahead of you, 5 levels ahead of you, your mind starts to think differently. Your mind starts to operate differently. You start to see different opportunities. You start to see different problems. You start to see certain problems just go away because like you thought it was a problem, but it is not a problem because you have to think way bigger, right? So, and that's why I've always invested in hanging out with the right people, like happy to pay for a mastermind or like a group of people or a closed door meetup, because the ROI in that is always just exponential. Like it always helps me to reset my brain and to think bigger than I was before, right? But you know, over the last year or so, you know, I haven't been able to travel as much, right? I've got some people here in the Netherlands, but usually I go to like international events. I haven't been able to travel as much due to like little kids, and like we had a 3-month holiday, which obviously was traveling, but it wasn't like hanging out with the right people, so to speak. So recently I actually started doing an experiment, right? Because a lot of us, we use social media every once in a while, right? I'm definitely guilty to that. I have my periods where I'm like, delete everything from my phone and don't use it for a while. But then over time it starts creeping in, and yes, I do check things, and I try to minimize the time, but still, like, we all use it, and usually that time is not best used, right? So I was like, what if I just change that, right? What if I actually use that time, if I'm going to be quote-unquote sucked into that world, right, into the social media algorithms that play whatever thing that people want to watch, right? What if I use that time effectively, right? So what I did is I brushed off my Twitter account, hadn't used it in like years and years. I unfollowed everyone, right? And I chose Twitter because like Twitter is like the platform that I think is more like educated based. Like it's not about like the videos or like entertaining. It's more like intellectual, I would say, right? That's at least how I perceive it. So I unfollowed everyone, and then I only followed the people that are into a certain topic that I want to learn more about. For example, right now I'm very much into AI, people who are like a couple steps ahead of me in terms of AI and their businesses in that space. So what I'm saying is that I was actually intentional about who I was gonna follow, right? Like it's not like, hey, just whatever in my current circle or people that I already know. No, scratch that, right? Just some, sure. But mostly there's people that are doing stuff that I'm currently not doing and that I want to go in that direction, or like that I want to learn about, right? So now every once in a while I check Twitter and I read the stream. So far, nothing crazy, right? But here's the cool part. Like I started doing this a couple months back or so, followed a bunch of people that are outside my circle of influence, outside the people that I would normally see when I would go on social media, for example. And I actually noticed that over the last couple months, a lot of my beliefs have changed. A lot of my preferences have changed based on what I've seen from those people. And that, like, this is crazy, right? Like, I actually did not expect that. Like, I like to go to like events and like meet people and let my brain be energized by those people in real life. But now I notice that just by being intentional about who I follow on Twitter, right? Seeing them every once in a while, a little bit by bit, you know, whenever I, check Twitter for whatever reason. And now, as a result, a couple months later, there's quite a few things that I actually have different thoughts on, right? Like, for example, I've been following various indie hackers, which is like the opposite of like what I've been doing for the last couple of years, right? Like, I've been building a team. At some point we had like 45 people before I sold my previous business. And whereas those indie hackers, they try to do everything themselves, right? I wouldn't want to go back to that. Like, I prefer having a team and like doing just like, you know, things as a group, because you can just get way more done. But I noticed I started to being more intrigued to that again. Like, hey, what if I would do that? It is not about going indie hacker or like having a fully fledged team, or it's not about that, but it's about the fact that even if you're at a place right now that you cannot really travel, or you don't have the money to fly around, or you don't have the money to attend high-level masterminds or whatever, like, there's literally no excuse. Like, currently, if you're checking out social media and you're seeing all your current friends from like that you build up over the years, but like, that's not going to change your beliefs. Like, I would highly recommend to either unsubscribe them all, or to just go, for example, a different social network like Twitter, and be very intentional with who you follow. Only follow those who are already where you want to be, right? And only those people you will follow. No one else, no one from your current circles, only people from, you know, people that you don't know yet, people that are ahead of you in that whatever level it is that you want to go into. It doesn't have to be business, by the way. And I promise you that over time, some of your thoughts and some of your beliefs will change just because of it, right? And that's essentially what I wanted to share briefly with all of you here, because it is 100% a mindset game. If you work on this game first, everything else will just take care of itself. All right, with that, I'll see you in the next video. All right, cut, we're done here. Let's wrap it up. Oh, well, sorry, you're still there. Well, in that case, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel, where I share marketing tips, tricks, and strategies that will help you grow your business faster. So you can click on the subscribe button right now, or check out the next video. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.